to instruct everyone who doesn't know, this interesting thing happens. Joan Rivers is a frequent guest on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. She gets offered her own show. She does it, causes a major feud with Carson because he does not like that. She's on Fox. She does a show. It implodes. It doesn't work. It comes apart. But you had gone on that show.
Yeah, as a stand-up.
As a stand-up. Mm-hmm. You had been successful on that show. And then when Joan leaves, they need someone to kind of, this thing's still on.
They got 11 weeks with just a set.
Yeah.
And Joan leaves. She's not coming back. I think Edgar, her husband, killed himself.
He did.
Yeah. So that ship had sailed, and they went through a lot of guys letting them have the show for one night. From Wally Cox to Malcolm Jamal Warner to Suzanne Summers, because I remember Suzanne Summers did very good, and in the end, they were choosing between me and Suzanne Summers.
So you come on, and then they more or less say, hey, Arsenio, you're really good at this. Why don't you this show is ending, but why don't you take over till it ends? Now, here's the thing you don't know. That show ends, and there's kind of a feeling like, wow, that Arsenio guy did really well. He's going to come back, okay? And here's the thing you don't know. There's a replacement show after Joan's show.
Wilton North.
The Wilton North.
I do know this now.
Okay, so the Wilton North report gets announced. This guy is going to put on a show. There's no host for it yet, but they get some writers before they even have the hosts, which is kind of unheard of. And I get this call, and my writing partner and I go in, and we get offered jobs to write. We need work. We haven't worked in a bit. So we say, sure, we'll do it. We don't know what this is. Who are the hosts? They say, we don't know yet. We're going to find them. And so one of the first meetings we had, you were still, I think, finishing up your show, and we were just having an early introductory meeting. I leave, and I heard and I go, is there anything to eat around here? And they go, yeah, there's a snack room in there. I go into the snack room, and I see you, and you were at the refrigerator getting something, and I said, oh, I knew who you were. I'm like, that's the guy who's been, you weren't
holding down the fort.
You were holding down the fort. And I was like, oh, hey. And you were so nice to me. You were like, oh, hey, how you? You were very gracious. Oh, and you were like,
I am so glad this story goes like that.
No.
Excuse me, white meat.
Well, you did call me white meat, but you were very nice about it. You were like, you are really white meat. And I'm like, well, white meat. Yeah. And then, no, but I remembered you being really nice. And I went back to the room and I went, oh, hi. Because I was, super young. And there's a guy who's been on TV for a couple of weeks. And I recognized you. And that's like a big deal. So I was like, oh, I just saw the guy, is it Arsenio? You were just new. Yeah. So we work on that show. We're way behind the scenes. It implodes. It doesn't work out.
And they hired 2 DJs from Northwest, right?
San Diego.
There
were 2 DJs from San Diego, and they hired them. And it wasn't their fault. It was just a weird, you got to start with the person. You got to start with the person. You can't.
For a talk show, you all know because you work for Conan, but that guy is the engine. Yeah. You can take a body of a car. We've seen this done. I saw Jay Leno.
Don't apologize.
Okay.
That's your problem. That's not my problem.
Okay. I know this guy who's a mechanic.
Yeah.
And he put a helicopter engine in a truck.
Sure. Yeah.
And it ran different than a Chevy.
Yeah.
The motor.
Yeah.
We're the motor.
So this mechanic, he was like, I'm gonna take a helicopter engine. Put it in a Chevy Chevette. Why are you doing that? I don't know. It just seems like it's gonna cost a lot of money and waste a lot of time. So I thought maybe I'd do it. But anyway, whatever this guy's name is, he's having fun. That's the important thing.
This is what I was afraid of. This is what I'm. Oh my.
So this could be my favorite episode ever. Seriously, and I have this man to thank. So I met you. Then they decide, okay, this Arsenio kid has something, and Paramount, you get the syndication deal, and your show starts. And here's the thing people have to remember. I remember this very well. Your show started, I think, at the very beginning of 1989, like early January.
Yeah, I wanted to get away from the September
that's when they make
cluster.
That's when they make everyone. That's when I had to go. September 13th. It's when a lot of shows start you show up it's like second week of 1989, and it is a smash immediately. And here's the thing that's really interesting. You talk in your book about your ratings were huge. I think you were second to Johnny that first week. But what you had is you had 35 and younger. Your demo was through the roof. And what's interesting is that was good news for you then, but what you couldn't possibly know is today, to have a demo like that, that means you're on the air for the rest of your life. The demo is more important than how many people are watching you. And I think you existed at a time.
For advertising.
For advertising, because they, now, I mean, for a chunk of my career, it's the demo that saved me. It wasn't that everyone in America wanted to see me. It's that young people who buy things wanted to see me. And that's what made a difference and saved me. I think that you were in a much more difficult time where you had a great demo, and then you're also expected to get everyone in the country watching you, which is complicated. Do you know what I mean? I mean, first of all, I just think that was a challenge you had that
it's impossible.
No show can pull off today. No show can do that.
Yeah, even when you deal with the world of comedy, I had an audience that was loving when I bring on a new guy like Chris Tucker.
Yep.
But if you like Chris Tucker, you probably don't like Argus Hamilton. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
And for me to be a different show every night is very complicated.
Yeah.
It was tough to balance it. And they were telling me, especially around the time when Johnny was about to leave, they were telling me, if you do the right show, you can inherit the king's kingdom.
Right.
They'll come here when Johnny leaves because we don't even know what they're going to do and who they're going to replace him with. That was all a mystery. So were really pressing me at that time to, because like I would get a call from Michael Bivins of New Edition.
Yeah.
And Michael Bivins would say, I just signed 4 guys out of Philly called Boys to Men. And I'm not finished with the album yet, but I would love to tell them that when we finish, they're coming on your show and it'll inspire them and everything. Yeah. I said, even better than that, Mike, bring them next week. And I've always wanted to put the Temptations on because I used to tour with them.
That's right.
They were my heroes.
Yeah.
I want to put Boys to Men and the Temptations all together. Like I want to have 40 niggas doing choreography, and so let's have the Temptations and Boys to Men. And it's a beautiful line of men performing the old, the new.
Yeah. Boys
to Men's idol, my idols, and stuff like that. Paramount was like, you're not going to get Johnny's audience doing this.
Right.
And so they wanted me to change my persona. I remember one time them saying, could you get rid of the earrings? But that happened. And by the way, that's not a black thing. I've seen producers tell Howie Mandel to take off his earrings, or make them smaller or whatever. That's just what they think the culture in America wants to see.
Yeah.
And I would have like a nice jacket, but my jeans would be ripped,
Yeah.
And they were like, there's no reason to have your jeans ripped. One time I carved Adidas stripes in the side of my head because that was happening then. Not for y'all, but
Yeah, David, what did you have carved into the side of your head?
Yeah.
The lyrics from Frozen.
Something like that. Yeah, just like, let it go, let it go.
Let it go around his head.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's really cool.
He was in a different culture.
I was in the Midwest.
But you can imagine when you do something like that, they're like, yo,